So you'll see for the Lazy Daisy stitch, I drew 2 circles. One smaller one on the inside, this is going to be the center of your flower, and then a larger one on the outside. That just helps you keep the size of your petals and the length of your petals consistent and just gives you a good guidance as you're stitching along. So when you're making the Lazy Daisy, you're going to come up using that smaller circle. You're going to start with a stitch there on the edge of one of your small circle. So here I come up. You're going to pull it all the way through. And then you're going to use your other hand to kind of hold it back. See how I loop it around my finger like that? And you'll bring your stitch down right next to your first hole that you poke through there, right next to it, almost in the same spot. So you're going to pull that all the way through. But before you pull the entire thread through, see how I catch it there on my finger? You're going to bring your needle up, kind of in the middle there, using that outer ring. Poke that needle up. Now you're going to pull all the way through. You can let go of that piece. And you're going to come down and finish the stitch by putting one more needle stitch right behind that petal. And you'll pull that all the way through. Now I did a really tight one there, as you can see. You can always take your needle and kind of separate it a little bit, okay, to create that petal look. But I'm also going to show you what it looks like if you separate where you come in and out with that needle as well. So you'll watch me do that here in a minute. So as we continue our stitches here for the Lazy Daisy, again, you're going to see me come up right next to where I ended that last petal. Pull that thread through, use your finger to catch it. And you're going to come right back down. I'm giving just a little more space, like I said, between the two, and I'm going to show you what that looks like. Use that outer ring as your guide to come back up. Pull all the way through, and you'll see that this petal is naturally a little wider because of its base. Okay. Now you'll notice the way that I did those stitches created a little bit of a gap between petal 1 and petal 2. So here I'm going to show you how I just come up between those two and create another petal. I'm basically using the end of my first petal and the beginning of my second petal as my starting and ending point for this Lazy Daisy stitch. And you'll just continue doing this all the way around the circle, trying to keep your stitches as tight as possible depending on how close you want those stitches. One thing that's beautiful about embroidery is there's always room to fix things. You can always add in a petal later if it looks like there's too much space. It totally works, and it's kind of an eclectic project to begin with. Now we're going to end this Lazy Daisy stitch by using a French knot as the center of our flower. So pull that through. I wrapped it 4 times around to make sure I got it thick enough to fill the whole thing, and pull through, and you'll tie a knot in the back.